Today we're going to be making an easy and authentic at-home recipe for Thai iced tea. I've had a lot of people request this recipe video because, well, using individual Thai iced tea bags is really easy to clean up. Cost-wise per serving, might be a little more than as if you use the actual bag of Thai iced tea, but we always have to weigh the pros and cons. So if you want to know how to make an authentic street food style Thai iced tea like they do in Thailand, and you've got tea bags as opposed to a large bag of Thai iced tea, then this is the video for you. I have a whole playlist of Thai iced tea videos if you want to check out some other recipes. For example, if you want to learn how to make street food style Thai iced tea using ChaTraMue from a bag, I've got a video for that. I also have the green Thai iced tea, the gold bag Thai iced tea, and if you'd like to make a big batch for your cafe or for a party, I've got a recipe for that too. Thai tea party! Yeah! I even have a video on how to make Thai iced tea using bubble tea powder. I'll make sure to put a link for all of these videos in the description below. I've seen numerous brands that do individual tea bags of the Thai iced tea mix over the years. I just so happened to pick this one up on my last trip to America. It was a few dollars from Walmart. Although they happen to give a kind of vague recipe on the back, don't worry, I got you covered. We're gonna take this drink recipe and kick it up a notch. One of my favorite drinks is Thai iced tea. So let's get started. For this recipe today, we're going to be using 2 tea bags. And the great thing about this one is they come individually wrapped, so you only need to unwrap the ones that you're going to use. That means that the rest of these will store for much longer and they'll retain all of their flavor. So simply unwrap your 2 tea bags. Smells nice. And I'm going to brew them in this, and then I'm going to transfer it into a different cup just for you to see it. But we're going to start brewing it in a heat-proof container. I like to use just the Pyrex brand, but basically anything that can withstand a really high temperature, because we are going to be pouring in some boiling water. And if you want an even stronger Thai iced tea flavor, consider using even more than 2 tea bags. So now we're going to add boiling water into the heat-proof container. You're going to need 1 cup, or approximately 240 milliliters. And then carefully place your tea bags into the hot water. Okay, and we're going to leave it to brew for about 5 minutes. But honestly, sometimes I just walk away and do other things and work on chores. And then I come back, and when it's ready, it's ready. Thai iced tea is quite versatile like that. There's not really any specific time that it has to be brewed for, but I think just, because we're making this at home in 1 serving, 5 minutes is a good time period. I love Thailand, and I can't wait to go back. The people there are so friendly, and there's so many amazing, enjoyable things to do. And one of my favorite things is being able to order an ice-cold Thai iced tea nearly every single day of the trip. Not necessarily from big chains like we have in the West, but from independently owned small street vendors that you can find all over the place, especially in the larger cities. Okay, so our 5 minutes is up and the tea is ready to go. I'm gonna start adding stuff to it, but like I said, I'm just gonna pop it into this glass so that way when I add the other ingredients, you'll see what a beautiful color it becomes. So I'm just gonna strain this into here, holding onto the tea bags. And it's a beautiful amber color, so nice. And Thai tea does stain fabrics, so do be careful. First, we're going to put in 2 teaspoons of just white table sugar. I prefer this over things like fructose or other different types of sweeteners, just because this is more Thai street food style authentic. So there's 1 and 2. And I'm going to give this a quick stir to make sure that all of the sugar is dissolved. Next, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of sweetened condensed milk. Now, normally it does tend to come in a can, just like this evaporated milk, which we have right here, but I find that this squeezy bottle is amazing. I just found it at my local grocery store, and I don't keep buying these, by the way, because they are actually more expensive than it just coming from a can. What I do is, when I'm done, I clean it out really well with hot soapy water, leave it to dry completely, then I open a can and I very carefully pour it in. Keep it in your fridge this way, and then that way it's just so super simple whenever you want to make a drink or a Thai iced tea or even put it in coffee. It's really quick and easy, and I just think it's amazing. So 2 teaspoons of the sweetened condensed milk, go. Just like that. And although it looks pretty cool on the bottom, and I do see sometimes people making it this way and serving it this way with the ice, the only issue that I have with that is that when this condensed milk becomes cold, it's very difficult to mix into the beverage. So that's why for this first step, which I do with a lot of my drinks, I use the heat to liquefy and completely dissolve the product. Then I put the ice with it and I make it ice cold. So with that being said, let's go ahead and give this a quick stir and just watch a beautiful color transformation. So beautiful. This method is the way that they do it in Thailand, street food style, so why try to reinvent the wheel? You can make it and customize it however you'd like. You can add dairy, not add dairy, use milk alternatives, not add any of that actually, and even just put a little bit of lime or sugar in it. Thai iced tea is very versatile, so be sure to experiment with it at home. And last but not least is 2 teaspoons of evaporated milk. I got my cute little cat can opener recently. Looking forward to using it. Ooh. Very nice. Wow, I'm actually surprised how well this works. This isn't sponsored, this is just a gift from one of my amazing subscribers. So thank you so much, it works really well. All right, so 2 teaspoons of evaporated milk. Okay, so now that I've opened this can and I'm not going to be using the rest of it right away, we want to go ahead and transfer it to a non-metallic airtight container. Whenever we're working with canned things, if we're not going to be using it, we can't just put it in the refrigerator with, you know, some cling film on top or whatever. We actually want to transfer it out. This is really important for food and safety. A great bit of advice, especially if you own a cafe or a bubble tea shop. All right, so I went ahead and transferred it right away just for you to see. I always keep little containers around. You just never know where you're gonna use them for. This happens to be an airtight spice racks container. You know, you put spices in it and put it in food and whatnot, and it is airtight. So when I go to use this later on in the video, I just pop up this little section here and I can pour it on the drink. This comes in really handy, and this will last in the fridge for a few days, but evaporated milk is one of those things you wanna use up quite quickly because the flavor of it does change really fast. So just be aware of that. All right, so now we're going to give this a really quick stir. This is a condensed version of the drink. We're going to be pouring it over ice. And I know that this cup doesn't pour very well, so I'm going to put it back into this one which has the spout. But of course, normally when you're making this at home, you'll do it all from this container right here. Okay, we are ready to compile our drink. First, I'm just simply going to put in all of the crushed ice into the cup, almost all the way up to the top. Crushed ice happens to be quite authentic when it comes to Thai iced tea. However, you can use other types of ice cubes as well. The nice thing about crushed ice is it melts quite quickly, which brings the drink to a very cold temperature quite fast. This also helps to dilute the concentrated brew that we're making and gives it an overall really nice flavor. But if you don't have crushed ice, don't worry, any ice will do. Next, carefully pour the Thai iced tea over the ice. And finally, pour a little more of the evaporated milk to your liking. Wow, this looks amazing. I can't wait to try it. Cheers! Oh, wow. It's amazing what a scent and a flavor will do. I was literally just transported back to Thailand, just going on a moped throughout the mountains of Chiang Mai, shopping in Bangkok, and enjoying the beach. I am just so excited. This recipe was super quick and easy to make, and authentic street food style. I can't wait for you to try it at home. I'll see you next time. Take care.